from r/maliciouscompliance. Just let the kids sort it out themselves. Okay then. I live in a town in the Netherlands with a university, and a few years ago my girlfriend's cousin got accepted as an overseas student. My girlfriend is Japanese. Her family, father, mother, her sister, and herself, moved to the Netherlands while she was younger. Her cousin still lived in Japan when she applied, got accepted, and is now living in a student room in the Netherlands. We don't really have dorms here, like in the US, but the building she lives in is maintained by the university itself. Said cousin is doing quite well for herself, got good grades, and is well on her way to getting her diploma. Partly because of this, the overseas family decided to have their vacation in the Netherlands this year, both for leisure and a bit of a family gathering. This story takes place during the family gathering. My girlfriend's parents and the cousin's parents, plus yet another family, had a meeting in a restaurant in my hometown. They had 2 little kids in tow, sisters. These look like 8 or 9 or so to me, but my girlfriend later told me that they are actually 11 and 12, but did look younger than they were, probably also because of their school uniform. At least that's what it looked like to me. I really don't know. Anyway, the idea was to catch up with the family, and my girlfriend was asked if she would be willing to keep the 2 young kids busy for a few hours since she was the oldest of the lot. My girlfriend and I are in our 40s. Her studying cousin is around 25, and as said, the 2 kids are around 10. My girlfriend didn't mind, but did ask me if I wanted to come along as well. Her cousin didn't mind. The 3 of us had met a few times already, and well, it was all about keeping the young kids busy anyway. Oh, for the record, the 2 young kids basically only speak Japanese. They do understand bits of English and can even speak some, but it's mostly Japanese. My girlfriend's cousin speaks both Japanese and English, and has even learned quite a bit of the Dutch language as well. Seriously, for the few years she's been here, it's, in my opinion, quite impressive. My girlfriend speaks Japanese, English, and Dutch. And as for me, Dutch and English. But over the years, I also managed to pick up a decent bit of Japanese as well. And I can often, not always, understand the general gist of things, as long as it's not too quickly spoken or too complicated. So basically, it was all English and Japanese between us. We took the kids for a walk through my hometown, and they were quite interested, but when we went past a playground, that also quickly got their attention. So the 3 of us decided to go sit on a bench and let the kids have some fun. There were several activities like an air balloon castle, swings, and a sandbox for younger kids to play in. Just plenty of things to do. The 2 wanted to go into the castle, which was fine with my girlfriend, as long as they made sure to only use the entrance-exit, which was located on our side, so that they wouldn't get lost and we could keep track of them. The 3 of us talked quite a bit, but also kept eyes on the castle. Around 15 or so minutes later, I spot the 2 again by accident near the exit with a little kid in between them. I have no idea, but I'd say she was around 8 or so. I can't really tell exactly what's going on, but I did see the kid point to the area of the sandbox, and that's where the 3 of them headed next. Before I can say anything to my girlfriend, a young lady walks up to us and asks, in Dutch, if we have seen a little girl passing by. This seems way too coincidental to me, so I ask, is she wearing a pink dress by any chance? The woman's face lights up as I tell her that she seems to be with my girlfriend's younger cousins, and I point to the sandbox. But when we look over, we now also see an older boy near the girls. I'm not good with guessing ages. Let's just say that he was bigger than them, and he's clearly harassing them. The small girl is visibly crying, but also comforted by one of the 2 younger cousins, while the other is keeping the boy away from her. We all walk over to the sandbox just when the boy manages to shove one of the cousins out of his way, and he's clearly trying to bully the young girl in the pink dress, but now stopped by the other cousin, which is when we arrive. The woman who is with us berates the boy and tells him to stop picking on young children, but the little brat clearly isn't very impressed. Next moment, his mother, so I assume, storms over yelling, and she has every appearance of a Karen, or a talkie, as we tend to call them over here. A little argument ensues, mainly between the mother of the girl in the pink dress and our Karen. It goes back and forth, but it's apparent that according to his mother, the brat did nothing wrong by picking on a girl half his own size. And this fine example of a mother even has the audacity to blame the other mother for raising such a weak little C-word. Basically, dat krijg je van als je domme huppel katjes opvoedt. And then Karen says, kids will be kids. Just let them sort out their own problems already. But she does take the boy with her as she walks away. The mother gets ready to grab her kid and leave. But in the meantime, the girl has completely calmed down and is actually having a great time with the two cousins. Unknown to anyone else yet, at this time, my girlfriend decides to comply with the earlier suggestion. First, she asks the mother to reconsider leaving because the kids are having so much fun together. My girlfriend also comments on how amazing kids are because they clearly don't speak the same language yet. They seem to understand each other just fine and are having a good time. The mother agrees, and my girlfriend now addresses both her cousins in Japanese. And it sounded very serious to me, something about the tone, the way she talked, and also looking at both girls, even a bit sternly. They both nodded and clearly said hi, aka yes, ma'am. I think I even saw a small head bow, but I'm not too sure. Our little group goes to sit on a bench nearby, and for the next 5 minutes, nothing happens. We're just having some small talk. Then the bully returns. The mother of the small girl wanted to stand up, but gets stopped by my girlfriend, who tells her that she has nothing to worry about because her kid is completely safe. Just watch. Trust me on this. The mother is visibly uneasy, but does remain seated, which is when I noticed that the behavior and stance of the two cousins had completely changed. They seem much more confident and relaxed. The boy starts making a fuss, while one of the cousins stands up, points to him, and yells something at him in Japanese. He, once again, tries to shove her out of his way, but this time she's faster. She steps aside, does something with her leg, and gives him a huge shove. Next moment, he's eating sand. No, literally. He gets up visibly angry while his face is covered in sand. This time he becomes violent and actually tries to hit one of the cousins with his fists. Yeah, tries. She evades one attempt, then grabs his hand, spins it around, and the next moment, the boy finds his arm twisted behind his back, and he starts screaming. The other cousin now also stands up, pats the young girl on her head, makes another move, and once again the boy gets shoved to the ground, this time by both cousins. Hard. When he looks up, the other cousin actually makes a moving gesture as if she wants to kick him, but without actually moving her legs or anything. She's obviously just threatening him. My girlfriend pokes me with a huge grin on her face and tells me, "Surely that deserves a point for self-restraint. Don't you agree?" She's visibly loving every moment of this. Apparently the boy isn't totally stupid and he runs off, while one cousin immediately turns to the young girl again, who is clearly still having a good time. Not at the least upset with the bully. "What the hell was that?" she asks. My girlfriend tells the mother that her cousins are taking the same self-defense classes as she and her sister once did, and that she had decided to pull ranks by telling her cousins that it was okay for them to actually defend themselves, as long as they didn't overdo it, of course. The mother wanted to know more about these classes, but unfortunately for her, my girlfriend had to tell her that the actual school was located all the way out in a suburb of Tokyo, so not something her daughter would be able to attend. We're chatting some more for the next 10 minutes, after which the bully's mother storms over to us with a BOA in tow. BOA is Dutch for bewust ongeschikte ambtenaar. Buitengewoon opsporingsambtenaar, which basically means so much as being a deputy, but without the proper training nor having any weapons. Generally speaking, most of them usually handle ticketing people. He tells us that he has gotten a complaint from the woman about people beating up her kid, to which the mother of the young girl immediately snaps. Whatever happened with letting the kids sort out their own problems? Now, the funny thing is, apparently the whole spectacle didn't really go unnoticed, and before we could say or do anything, someone else had stormed over as well. "I saw the whole thing, officer," an older woman said. Her brat, pointing at the Karen, was harassing and beating the kid in the pink dress when those two awesome kids stepped in and protected her. Meanwhile, another man had walked over. "Officer, that brat got everything he deserved. He started it. The only thing that happened was that those girls defended themselves from him. The officer listened to everyone's statements and ended up deciding to ticket the mother of the brat. I assume for disturbing the peace, but I don't know any details because at this time we decided to leave and we went our separate ways. During our walk back to the hotel restaurant, the cousins told us the whole story. And I actually learned something new as well. While they were in the castle, they saw the boy harassing the young girl in the pink dress and immediately decided that this wasn't right, also because he was almost twice her size. He actually pulled on her hair while she was already crying, which made the cousins plain out angry, but the only thing they did was get the boy away from the girl. One cousin distracted the boy by blocking him from grabbing the girl's hair again, and she also started taunting him while the other comforted the young girl and led her to the exit, but the one we agreed on. So the girl's mother never saw her leave and got worried. The other cousin managed to lose the boy in the crowd, at first anyway, and she joined her sister near the exit. So I asked my girlfriend why they didn't do all that stuff right away, to which she told me that they weren't allowed to. The first rule of self-defense is apparently always leave if you can. And her cousins are at a level where the use of these techniques outside their school is strictly prohibited. Unless there's an actual threat, of course, or if they've been given direct permission by an elder of the same school. A rule that my girlfriend was stretching a little bit, but she told me that she would write up the whole altercation so that the cousins could take her letter back with them. She was actually not kidding when she talked about points for self-restraint, because that would actually be her advice in the letter. But yeah, typical hypocritical behavior. Let the kids sort it out until it suddenly doesn't go your way, eh? Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to our channel to make sure that you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thank you for watching Reading Reddit.